In this video, I will show you how you can use ngClass directive instead class binding, and you will see what are benefits of ngClass. In Angular, ngClass is a built-in directive that lets you dynamically add or remove CSS classes from an element based on conditions. You may ask, what is directive? Directive is a class that adds behavior to elements in your HTML. In our case, it will add or remove CSS classes. Let's see an example. I want to make same effect with ngClass as was done with class binding to add this disabled input class if this property is disabled input is truthy. To use ngClass, we can write ngClass in square brackets, and here on the right side we can write expression which will return CSS class as a result, and that expression will be if is disabled input is truthy, we will return this class. Otherwise, we will return empty string. Okay, save. This is basically ternary operator in JavaScript, and on this way we will dynamically check this condition every time, and based on the result we will change CSS on our input element. If we run our application, we will see here one error, can bind ngClass since isn't a known property of input. This means that Angular don't know what is ngClass directive, and to fix this we need to import ngClass in our imports in code here, ngClass from common Angular. Okay, save, and now it's okay. And to test does ngClass working properly, we need to delete this old class binding, save, and we will go in browser. Our application is on localhost 4200, and we can see here our example. And to check does our class is added on our input element, we will use inspector, and here we will watch what is happening when we click on this checkbox to disable input. If we check, class disabled input will be added to element, and that means that our directive ngClass works okay. This is fine, and let's go in template here and talk about benefits of using ngClass in compared to class binding. Let's return our code with class binding to see. Here we have some expression, and if it's truthy, it will add this class, and also here we have same thing. And what are benefits? If we are using one class, there is no difference. But if you want to add more classes based on more different conditions, in that case ngClass must be used. And let's see that on example. ngClass also support using of object instead of expression, and inside object we can have multiple key value pairs. For keys we will have class name, an expression, and class 2, an expression 2. ngClass will add class on element each time when the result of expression is truth value, let's convert this in our example. We will have here is disabled input, and if this is true, we will return this class. But if this is not true, we want to add some other class, enabled input, and we will also add this class in CSS. We will copy this, go in CSS, and here put class, and these properties will be same, and only we will have different color here. Okay. And before we test this in browser, we will delete this old code for ngClass and for class binding. Okay. And we can see that class for enabled input is applied. And if we disable input, our second class will be added. Let's check this in inspector. We have disabled input, but if we uncheck, we have enabled input, and our ngClass with object works properly. You may ask, maybe, can I add more than 2 classes here? Yes, for sure. We can add test1 and true expression, and test2 and true expression, only to test. Go to browser, reload, and let's inspect element. And we can see test1 and test2 is added. And that's it for this video. I hope you like it. Please subscribe, like, and see you in the next video.